Welcome back, everyone. We're continuing with our Robert Greene series, The 48 Laws of Power. Okay, this is a book here. And today's video is called Becoming the Sculptor. And this video is based off of Law 25, Recreate Yourself. The judgment of this law. So do not accept the roles that society foists on you. Recreate yourself by forging a new identity, one that commands attention and never bores the audience. Be the master of your own image rather than letting others define it for you. So in this chapter, Robert Greene, he reminds us that the world wishes to assign us a role in life. It is your choice to accept or deny this role, and this is a conversation I've had with a student previously, but when you look around in the hallways, when you go out in public, you see a lot of people just, like a dead fish moving along with a stream, right? It's very rare you see people who are actively deciding how they want their role in life to be and playing an active and participating in that vision of themselves. So instead, Robert Greene advises to become protean, ever-changing like actors. Greene advises us to work on ourselves like we're clay, taking great joy in creating and recreating ourselves. Okay, it can be difficult to recreate yourself when you're stuck in the same environment, but when we decide to step back, it allows us the space and freedom to reinvent who we are and to create a new image for the public. This is very related to Law 16, a video that you can check out in my series. But you want to be able to recreate and reinvent yourself. This is part of how you kind of stay young as well. You listen to new podcasts, you read new books, you explore new ideas, you try new things, whether it's a different hairstyle, different facial, facial hairstyle, different type of clothes, you work a different job, you just do something that's different from what you've been doing and you recreate yourself. As already mentioned, I skipped ahead, but this law can go hand in hand with Law 16, where you're using absence as a time to remold yourself into a better version of you. So use drama and art to reinvent a new version of you. In this chapter, Robert Greene really emphasizes to kind of be an actor, right? Like when you're in this environment, be this way. When you're in the gym, be an athlete. And when you're at the church, be a saint. Kind of thing, right? You want to really lean into that role of that environment and be that person, right? And that way, you're not boring the people around you. You're keeping them interested and engaged. Now, obviously, that can be very exhausting, but it's up to you, right? The approach that I'm giving is more so, use that monk mode as mentioned in Law 16 and take some time off to recreate yourself, to reinvent yourself, using that absence to increase your value in a specific group, whatever you're a part of. So a reinvention can be as simple as mentioned, new hairstyle, new way of dressing. It could be fitness related. So let's say you spend 6 to 12, maybe 18 months, right, really building and sculpting your body. It could be a new career. All of these things, when you reinvent yourself, it will dramatically change the way your environment reacts and responds to you. And it's simply a matter of changing the perceptions people hold of you. So people are going to, think of you, look at you in a certain way and treat you based on that perception, based on that role that you've been given. And it's really up to you as the individual to do something about that. Because people are just going to assign you this role. And so maybe you need to spend a couple months, a year, 2 years, couple of years away working on yourself, building yourself while you're reinventing. And then after that, you might find that you don't even want to go back to that old group of people you were with. But when you meet new people, their perception of you is completely different. And if you've been really working hard, then hopefully that perception is better. So again, when people see you differently, assuming you are aiming to improve yourself, this new version of you can garner more respect and admiration. You might be wondering, well, why does Mr. Quadra keep going on about respect and admiration? Well, if you're in an environment where people don't respect you, and if you're in a sort of whatever position where the people below you don't admire you or, again, respect, you're not necessarily going to feel really good. People might not treat you very well. If you're one of the more bottom rung individuals in your group, then, when you start speaking, people won't stop to listen. They won't listen to what you're asking them to do. They may not laugh at your jokes. They may not like your hairstyle, your clothing. And again, you can decide for yourself. Do you want to be a part of that group? Do you want to find a new group? But I think one of the primary things you should do is take responsibility for your own life, take accountability, and start to create a vision for who you would like to be and what impact you would like to have. And that's how you move forward in life. And once you've done that, the perception people hold on you is so much different and hopefully better. And you start moving up and finding better quality people as well, who are also pursuing their own vision in life and creating their own version of themselves. And so one major benefit of this is that one benefit of this change is that you begin to see everyone else around you differently. Additionally, you can determine the impact of your change on how people respond to it. And so, as I was mentioning in the last slide, once you get onto this growth journey of recreating yourself and making a better version of you, you'll start to reinterpret other people's values and interests. And you might find that, hey, you're not really as interested in those same things anymore. You're not interested in going out on the weekends and, just watching the game and complaining about the weather. Maybe you're more interested in ideas and how to get better and how, maybe how to dress better, how to make more money, how to have a better relationship, how to have more success in life, these kind of things. Now, if you've gone monk mode and spent some time away and worked on yourself and you come back and no one cares about the change, well, you got to reevaluate the effectiveness of what you did, and maybe you got to spend more time away, right? Maybe you got to be more honest with yourself. Keep in mind, though, there will be those that disapprove of your change. They'll try to humiliate you and insult you in order to get you to return to the previously assigned role that you had, right? When you start moving up the ranks, starting to become more competent, more capable, it's going to make people nervous. It's going to make people feel threatened. They're going to feel a little uncomfortable with who you are and who you're becoming. And you got to decide if you want to really care about their opinion, especially if you are aiming up and trying to get better, trying to get better at writing, get better grades, be a better athlete, be in better shape, be more kind, be more understanding, be a better listener, be a better speaker. All of these things are good things that you should pursue. And if it makes the people around you uncomfortable, if it was making the people around me uncomfortable, well, that's unfortunate for them then. I'm trying to be the best version of myself, and I think that people should aim to do the same. You should continuously strive to recreate new and improved versions of yourself, and as you do, continue to surround yourself with growth-oriented people. Eventually you will start to get tired and bored of just the same old mundane day-to-day problems that people experience, partially because, well, they're not trying anything new. They're not recreating themselves. They're not reinventing their ideas and learning new things. And so years later, you'll find, oh man, this person still has the same problems they had, 5 years ago. And it's such a simple solution. Maybe when you've been on that journey for a while, it's like, oh, this is such a simple solution. You got to change X, Y, Z. So you should continuously strive to recreate yourself, new improved versions of yourself, because your life will just simply get better and better as that continues and goes on. And keep in mind, as shallow as it may seem, people's perceptions of you has impact and influence. People perceive you, let's say you're a student who just wanders around the hallways. Well, that's your perception. And people may treat you differently. If you're a student who's very respectful, listens, and is very courteous, people will treat you differently, as bad as that may seem. It's the reality. We're humans. When people do things that irritate us, we tend to treat them differently. And as saintly as we might say we are, you really got to look at your actions and oftentimes maybe you got to look at your intentions as well. Like if you're just thinking very poorly of this person, in your actions in subtle ways, you will act that thought process out, and that's not the best thing. So again, keep in mind when you choose to dress poorly and be sloppy and lazy and whatever it is, kind of on the negative side, that will impact the way people perceive you. And that perception is very important. So I'll finish off with this quote: "Man cannot remake himself without suffering, for he is both the marble and the sculptor," by Alexis Carrel. And this quote, I love it, and it really it really briefly explains this law just straight to the point. You are the marble, you are the sculptor. It's your responsibility, it's your job to create the version of yourself that you love, respect, admire, and is worthy of all of those things as well, and is competent and capable and adds value into the environments you choose to be a part of. Okay, and we'll wrap that up with that. Thank you for making it this far. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you.